Mr. Minnick helping my students with string expressions here on worksheet number 1 in the Visual Basic class. Read the directions first before proceeding, and then realize that we have these variables listed at the top of the worksheet, and they're to be used throughout all of the exercises. So question number 1, what happens when you take school plus mascot? Well, first of all, notice that school is a string because it has double quotes around its value. School is YO, and I don't have a good pen here, so I'm sorry for the sloppiness. You should be neater than I am. But school, when you substitute in for school there, it's really YO with double quotes. And I'm just going to rewrite the plus, show the steps here, and then mascot is Spartans, and I don't have the patience to write that out because of this awkward mouse. So just pretend that Spartans is written there with double quotes around it. Well, the plus is the concatenation operator, which means you glue the two strings together into one big string. So the answer is simply written as YO Spartans. And you see this right here? That's the answer to number 1. I, again, am having trouble with this mouse. So please put one big fat set of not curly braces, one big set of double quotes around YO Spartans. But notice there is no space between the word YO and Spartans because in the original values there were no embedded spaces. So it's not your job to put a space in there. It prints out as this example is given. But look at number 2. It's a little different. Here we have YO again in double quotes, but then it's being concatenated with a blank space. And then that also is being concatenated with mascot. So because of the double quotes there around a blank space, your answer will be YO with a space and then the word Spartans. Please put a little gap there in your answer to reflect that there's a single space there. I don't have the patience here to write this out, so blah, blah, blah. But make sure that you have double quotes around the whole thing, because that's the way you're supposed to answer these kinds of questions. Number 3, it's the same answer. Go ahead and write it out the same way. I'm just writing the word same. Because there's a space here embedded before the S, the end result is that the answer has a space embedded between the word YO and the separate word Spartans. So 2 and 3 are the same. Okay, let's look at number 4. Digit. What's digit? Digit is the string 3, not the number 3. It's the string 3 because there are double quotes around the 3. Now, I don't know why somebody would do this, but it's an exercise on this worksheet, so we must analyze it nonetheless. So in number 4, just rewriting it, this is how you can think of the exercise. 3 in double quotes plus YO in double quotes. So your answer is simply 3 YO, all in one set of double quotes. Again, I don't see a practical reason why this would ever be done in a computer program, but it makes for a nice tricky worksheet question, and that's the way it is. Number 5, digit plus num. Well, num is 2, and digit is 3 with quotes. When that happens, the computer turns the final result into a string. I know it's kind of silly, but look at the way I'm writing the scratch work here. 3 in double quotes plus the number 2. The number 2 in this worksheet doesn't have quotes around it. But because of the way Visual Basic works, when you have a string being added to a number, the final result is turned into a string. So in other words, the 2 here is turned into a string and added to the 3 by concatenation. In number 6, I'm using the command val. It's in the lecture notes. You can read more about it and see other examples. But here's what you can think of it as. Val simply rips the quotes off of something that has quotes around it. So by plugging digit in as a 3 with double quotes, as you see above on this paper, and then eventually adding that to 2, the next step is to rip the quotes off the 3. So we end up with simply 3 plus 2 as our final answer for number 6. And therefore, you know the answer is 5. Because there are no quotes around the 3 anymore, the computer mathematically adds the 2. See, this plus symbol works both ways. Sometimes it adds like you did in second grade, 3 plus 2 is 5. But in other situations, it glues two strings together in what we call concatenation. You have to know when it works the one way and when it works the other way. That's just what a coder, a programmer does. Number 7. Number 7, I'm using the other command that you learn in this chapter called str. And str puts quotes around something. So as I was saying, string puts quotes around something that didn't have quotes. See this 2? It didn't have quotes around it. But because of str, it now does have quotes around it. And digit had quotes around it from the beginning. It's 3. So your final answer, finishing this out, don't mess up here because you're live on camera. Who has a brave answer for number 7, spoken out loud so that the video can hear you? 3 in quotes plus the number 2 in double quotes. What's the final answer here? Kanan? Yes, he didn't speak loudly, but I could hear him. He said 3-2 in double quotes. Very good. You will be famous for the rest of your high school career as being the guy who answered number 7 on String Expressions Worksheet number 1 in Minix class. The rest of this worksheet I think is fair game. I just use val and str a bunch of places. I'll again read my lecture notes if you have more questions. And number 16 and 17, make up your own questions related to the variables above.